TV.
Let's do a small intro.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, me.
Hello and welcome to Ottawa in the Know. Happy New Year to everyone at home. Thank you for tuning in. We've got an exciting hour ahead, from chefs creating unforgettable culinary experiences to exploring the wonders of nature, expert tips to stay healthy this winter, and the unstoppable Ottawa 67s. Fitness, insights, and a sneak peek of what's ahead in 2026. It's all about celebrating the people in Ottawa and the place to be. So let's get started. Our first guests bring together storytelling, music, and incredible food. Peter Hum has been sharing Ottawa's culture and cuisine for decades. And after a meaningful journey to China, he brings that passion home as a resident chef at One Elgin. He's joined by Kenton Lear, head chef at the National Arts Centre, where together they create unforgettable culinary experiences. Welcome, Peter and Keaton. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, what a great way to start off the new year.
Absolutely, yes, yeah. Very
Absolutely,
exciting, yeah.
good. Well, first, Peter Hum, I have loved you for how many years? I almost have to count them. 35 years you've been part of the Ottawa Citizen.
An awful long time.
An awful long time. And you still look 20, so that's fantastic. But I love the idea that in the last 12 years, no, how many years as a critic?
It has been the last, it's 13 now, I think.
Yeah.
It'll be 14 later this year.
And you have done amazing jobs. We've followed you. We've gone through all our cuisines, all our restaurants. We love it. What first drew you to telling those stories about culture and cuisine?
Well, I kind of had been a foodie before I'd been a food writer.
Yeah.
Food goes back in my family, in quite a long way, in fact, and it's always been here in Ottawa, actually. My grandfather came to Ottawa from southern China in 1907, I think.
Wow.
And very soon afterwards, he was running a restaurant on Rideau Street, where the Rideau Center is now. And then if you speed through the decades, then his sons, and one of them is my father, they had a series of restaurants along Bank Street and way out as far as like Bank and Heron. So, that's decades and decades of restaurants in the Hum family, a little dynasty of sorts going from 1910 to the mid-1980s, which is a time when I'm like working in the restaurants, like answering the phones and packing up takeout Chinese food. So I have food in my background from all of that, and an interest in eating as well. And then eventually at the Citizen, about around 2010, more or less, I started being the editor of the food section, and then not long after that, I became the critic.
Yeah. Well, I critic in a great way. Like, you've given some great advice. You've been able to teach us sort of what to look for in food and how to taste it, how to approach it. And then you took off on a long journey to sort of experience that yourself. Tell us what happened there.
Sure. So in November of 2024, I went back to China on a kind of a roots discovery trip. That was really exciting. I discovered lots and lots of things about my, extended family, you could say, because I found relatives that I didn't even know existed when I got there. And I went to the village where that grandfather I'd mentioned, where he had left back in 1900 to come to Canada. And I ate a lot of great food while I was there.
Well, and that brings us right back to the city. And Keaton, you've had a chance to work with Peter Hum now. How did that all come to be?
Well, so with our resident chef program at One Elgin Restaurant, we like to bring in younger up-and-coming chefs.
That's not me.
Showcase.
I just said you look so young. They saw it.
That's not Peter, but what came up is normally we sort of tie it in with a theme, and what we wanted for our first resident chef of 2026 was to tie it in sort of with Chinese New Year's, and we were looking at bringing an Asian chef in, and the idea came up because we've known Peter for such a long time. and also realizing like he does have a passion for food and a great knowledge. Like he's been doing this a long time. Like he said, he's been a foodie. So we thought, why not invite him to participate with us, create a menu, drawing on his experiences, his family restaurants, his travels across the globe, his travel to China, and come up with a menu that would represent sort of him and some of the things that he's
And you
done.
brought some beautiful parts. This is available right now at the NAC.
We have, yeah. So we just started the menu a couple of nights ago. It's going great.
Congratulations.
Couple of dishes. Just one of the cold dishes. This is a tuna crudo dish with some tangerine, a bit of cucumber, a vinaigrette that features the oil from the tangerines. We actually, and some habanero, a little bit of spice to it. And this is one of the hot dishes that's selling very well. We were talking earlier about, seems like a simple dish, roasted pork, pork belly with crispy skin. But to get that skin just the right crispiness, the way they do it at some of the finer places, Michelin star places in China, is a real art and a real, so we're learning that. But pork belly with some condiments. We've got some hot mustard, which is, I think, traditionally served with pork belly, a little hoisin, and some hot chili.
Lovely.
Crisp. Yeah.
So this is amazing, and then of course the menu is extended and it's available now. I just want to talk in the last few minutes, Peter. What was the experience like when you went in as the chef?
Well, it was really fascinating. I'm someone who kind of has opinions naturally and comes to them pretty quickly, but I was being put on the hot seat to do restaurant criticism in real time at One Elgin earlier this week, so I was tasting things and giving immediate feedback. I hope I wasn't too stinging in some of my comments, but I was saying, I think this could be more heavily seasoned, or this could be more lightly seasoned, or there were better choices for condiments in this particular dish, or maybe the skin could be better still, for example. But overall, I've been really, really pleased with the experience so far. I think it's
actually
a great honor,
brilliant,
really.
I was going to say, it's a brilliant experience and a brilliant honor to have you both working together. And what's your feedback as the last minute? We've got to shut that down. We're going to come back to that. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you get a chance to get to the NAC one and have this lovely menu. And up next, you are not going to want to miss it. We've got the natural wonders of the world.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Welcome to Community News and Events on Rogers TV, Channel 22. I'm Elizabeth Kyle. Catch Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, the clever and quirky theatrical production by Tom Stoppard, running January 22nd to 25th at the Kailash Mittal Theatre at Carleton University. Performances begin at 7:30 p.m. each night with a 2 o'clock p.m. matinee on Sunday. This witty reimagining of Hamlet follows two minor characters as they stumble through fate, free will, and absurdity with sharp humor and playful dialogue. Filled with wordplay, philosophical twists, and comedic moments, the show offers a fresh and entertaining take on a Shakespearean classic. For tickets and details, visit the KailashMittalTheatre.ca or scan the QR code on the screen. To have your community news or event listed on our website, please go to rogerstv.com, click on events, and post your event. That's it.
For 25 years, you've been helping to make our roads safer by doing the right thing. You've been the designated driver, you've stayed over, called home, you've called a cab or a friend, and planned ahead. Let's keep doing the right thing. Support sober driving by getting yourself and your friends home safely.
Do the right thing.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Welcome back. Are you ready to explore the wonders of the natural world? Derek Main, museum program developer at the Canadian Museum of Nature, is here to share the museum's exciting new exhibition, Life on Land, the Devonian Era, which explores moment when life first moved from the oceans onto land. Welcome and welcome back, Derek Mann. You've got so much to share with us. How are you?
Yeah, hi Julie, I'm great. Thanks again for having me back.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm here with one of the superstars of our new exhibit, Life on the Land. This is Tiktaalik Rosie.
Okay.
And this is the first ever model of Tiktaalik that was made in 2008.
Wow. Are we allowed to touch?
Yeah, you can,
okay.
you can gently touch it.
I didn't need to.
We had to touch it to put it all together
good.
here today, so definitely no worries.
Okay, well, very nice to meet her. But for everybody at home, just tell everyone a little bit of this amazing period, the Devonian period.
Yeah, so Life on the Land really focuses on this period of time in Earth's history around 400 million years ago. So really a long time ago.
Yeah.
And this is before life had really come onto land on Earth. So on land, there was only really bugs, and it's known as the age of the fishes because there were so many fish, and they were all diversifying in different ways. Tiktaalik is what we call actually a fishapod, and it's showing us kind of this transitional phase between fish and tetrapods.
Okay, which is sort of how this is looking as they're coming up on land?
That's right, yeah. These are the first animals that started to use 4 limbs to kind of walk around and move around. And this fishapod, Tiktaalik, shares some anatomy with us. It has similar structures in its arms, and we're seeing the beginnings of wrists and necks forming in vertebrates.
Okay, and why do you think that movement was made? Just too many fish, and there's land to be found?
Yeah, it's a time where there was more and more oxygen in the atmosphere. So Tiktaalik was an animal that had gills. It could breathe underwater, but it also had 2 spiracles on the top of its head, which it used to breathe air. So it would come up to the surface and breathe air, and that gave it an advantage. And there were lots of bugs, like I said, on land. So by going on land, it was able to find new food sources and new resources. Yeah.
And they sort of became the big folks of the land.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Tiktaalik isn't our exact ancestor, but maybe our ancestors did look something like this.
Okay, and this exhibit is happening at the Canadian Museum of Nature. I have not had a chance to see it, but when someone's going to see it, we get to meet her, but who else do we get to meet to understand
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So we have lots of fossils from the Devonian era, or Devonian period, lots of different fossils. We have trackways of these animals, lots of fish fossils, of course, it being the age of fishes, but also lots of interactives. You can explore some of the science that went in behind creating these models. We have a newer, even more impressive, updated model of Tiktaalik where you can see the back half of Tiktaalik, which was absent here because we didn't know. You can see I have also the replica of the holotype fossil. So this is the fossil that was found that informed the creation of Tiktaalik, this model here. And since then, we've done some more studies, more analysis, and we've been able to construct what we believe the back half of Tiktaalik looked like. So if you want to see that new model, come see that at the museum right now.
Okay, and you also said part of it's a bit more tactile, like when kids are going in or anyone's coming through the exhibit.
Yeah, we have some fun games, things that you can explore. You can try to walk like a tetrapod, so lots of fun interactives for kids there as well.
Are you the one showing it? Because I could see you down there trying.
Yeah, I've tried to walk like a tetrapod. It's not as easy for us.
There's someone showing. That's not you as the model, but yeah, definitely.
That's exactly it. Yeah, just like that. Yeah. So lots of fun and lots of cool history. If you ever wondered what the Earth looked like so far in its past, all this new data and research done by the Canadian Museum of Nature and through our partners has really unraveled this mystery of what the world looked like back then.
Yeah. So how are you feeling as a program developer, bringing everyone through this exhibit? Because this is phenomenal.
It's really, really fun, and it's really a proud moment for me to share the amazing research by our collections team. And they're going up into the Arctic, and they're looking in specific rocks that they know are from the Devonian, and looking to find fossils. And then when they find them, they do all this amazing research. So I'm just really honored to be able to share all of their research and findings, and help us understand a bit better how life made this big change from the ocean onto land.
Onto land. So does the land look different? Like, does it show the progression of what it? Okay.
We have maps where you can see where Ellesmere Island was 375 million years ago, and it was right on the equator. And you can watch an animation of the whole world and how the plate tectonics have changed since then. The Earth was very, very different back then.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, you seem super excited. What are a few of your favorite parts of this exhibit that you're really enjoying, or facts that we'd never have known?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tiktaalik is definitely the superstar.
Yeah.
So the new model of Tiktaalik is really, really cool, and I can't recommend it enough. We have some other really big fossils of some of the really big fish. Dunkleosteus, one of the biggest fish that ever lived on Earth. It has a big skull, bigger than me, and that's also on display in the exhibit. Really, really cool. You can stick your head inside of it.
Really?
Yeah.
And so is there a layer that they would have lived? Is it like it explains sort of even the layers of where the species lived in the water?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, all sorts of different fish. This is a time where fish were developing jaws. So before that, fish didn't have jaws. And when I was talking about the diversification of fish, many fish were starting to develop different kinds of jaws and inventing new ways of feeding. So I mentioned we have lots of really cool fossils showing these early jaws, the first jaws ever to appear on Earth. So if you like, I don't know, the movie Jaws, or seeing some really cool
just
old
go
shark
stick your
teeth.
head in there for
exactly.
sure. There is so much happening at the museum. We've got a couple of minutes to go through that. There's your adult nocturne.
That's right. Yeah, our after-hours parties. So the one on January 30th, Intergalactic, is already sold out, but you can still get tickets for the March 27th or March 27th. Excuse me.
37th. Wow, the museum does a lot of amazing things.
We make things happen. No, March 27th, we have House of the Dino Nature Nocturne, but it's selling out fast. So if you want to come, make sure you get your tickets very, very soon.
What happens? Like, what would you say is the highlight of those evenings?
Oh, those evenings we have DJs and bars on every floor in the museum. We often have really fun activities. We encourage people to dress up. So for this theme, bring your best dinosaur-themed apparel.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have photo booths, lots of dancing, sometimes silent discos, all sorts of fun stuff. And we're happy to announce we're going to do a 12th season of Nature Nocturne next year. That will start in June, and tickets for that will go on sale in April.
Okay, 12 seasons, so 12 times throughout the year.
This will be the 12th season, and there will be 4 events next year starting in June.
Perfect. Thank you. There's so much. Thanks so much for joining me. There's so much happening at the museum. Make sure you hit the Canadian Museum of Nature for this exhibit and more, and stay up next because we all want to make sure how to stay healthy this season. Thank you.
Welcome to Community News and Events on Rogers TV, Channel 22. I'm Ramon DeFranco. The Nepean Senior Center offers programs and services designed to enrich the lives of older adults. Members enjoy a variety of social and recreational activities. You'll find everything from fitness classes to cards and board games and more. The center helps seniors stay active and independent. Friendly staff and volunteers creating a welcoming environment for all. Discover the benefits of joining today. Build friendships, learn new skills, and enhance your well-being at the Nepean Senior Center. For more information, visit nepeanseniorcenter.ca. To have your community news or events listed on our website, please go to rogerstv.com, click on events, and post your event. That's it.
Hello to your cell phone. How can I help?
Adults I need somebody, not just anybody. Won't you please, 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 please,
Music and Beyond, one of Canada's most dynamic classical music festivals. From stirring symphonies to intimate chamber performances, experience concert highlights filmed live in beautiful venues across Ottawa. It's more than music. It's art, literature, culture, and community, all coming together on one stage. Music and Beyond presents, only on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Ottawa in the Know. Well, it's all about staying healthy this winter. And expert Preet Sidhu, pharmacist and owner of Tartan Pharmacy, is here to share expert advice on flu prevention, vaccinations, and tips to stay well this entire winter. With years of experience helping Ottawa patients, she's focused on practical strategies to protect you and your family. Welcome so much to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great, Julie. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, we're in the midst of the flu season.
Yes.
So it's a great timing to discuss.
Well, everybody's back to routine, back in groups of people, and there's lots of reminders that we need. So maybe we can define right away, what is the flu?
The flu.
Yes, thank you. I should have done the quotations myself. Yeah.
See, so the flu or seasonal influenza is it's a very common sickness that spreads easily, right? So if anybody has flu, they can easily spread it by coughing, sneezing, talking, as easy as shaking hands.
Yeah.
So the tiny droplets will go in the air and you can easily get it, right? So basically it affects your nose, throat, and lungs. And typically people do recover within 7 to 10 days, but then some people, high-risk groups, can have complications.
Yeah, and you must see a lot of those coming in right now.
Yes.
Which I could see right away as your passion of getting the word out of how you can kind of find out, like, when do you know you have the flu? How can you avoid it? Maybe not avoid it. How can you treat it, maybe?
That's a $1 million question.
Yes.
You know, since with all the viruses going on with the COVID, cold, pneumonia, RSV, how do you even differentiate? Because the symptoms are so similar, right? They overlap. So, but sticking to the topic of flu, there would be a sudden onset of fever, cough, or body aches, muscle aches and pains, and then you can also get sore throat, headache, and other symptoms as well. And I know moms follow you, and children under 5, it's even more challenging because they can present with non-febrile illness or respiratory illness similar to croup or bronchitis.
And it happens very quickly.
Or GI symptoms, exactly. You know, they could have nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. So under 5, it's even more challenging.
Yeah, so those are quite a big list that you can check off, that if you know some of those are existing, then you know you might have something. How can you sort of, because you can't, antibiotics is obviously the real way, but there's some other ways that you can sort of calm the illness or help it get its way out.
Ease it.
Yeah, ease it, thank you.
Yes. So basically, once you have it, the symptoms, you know, it's basically you want to stay comforted, right? Comfortable, right? So that would be, so sometimes we can, as pharmacists and as doctors, as pharmacists, we can prescribe for minor ailment, and this is one of those where we can prescribe antiviral for patients to ease the symptoms.
Okay,
right?
Tell me more about that. So what's an antiviral?
So antiviral would be compared to an antibiotic. Antiviral is basically to help kill the virus.
Okay.
Right? So it will reduce the frequency, the severity of symptoms. It's not going to remove.
But that's great. At least if people know there's some way that they can go to the pharmacy and ask for that help, that's fantastic.
Exactly. But once you have it, you know, in terms of, you know, if it's runny nose, could you take something for runny nose, stuffy nose, cough, right? We have a great product.
Let's go through some of those symptoms because you had a big list. So if you have runny nose, cough, what's your best idea of to take care of that?
Yes. You know, so depending on your medical history as well, as long as there's no contraindications to your medications.
Yes.
So somebody can take antihistamine, such as neocitrin would have antihistamine.
I have always liked this. In fact, I think when you and I were just talking earlier, it's those things that make you feel comfortable when you're feeling bad. So this always makes me sleep very well.
Right.
Yeah.
and in warm water, right?
Yeah.
So you would dissolve. So depending, it has an antihistamine for runny nose, sneezing will help with that. And if you're congested, you have those symptoms, and there's a decongestant, there's something to help with the cough as well, just to ease the symptoms.
Okay, I like that. And you had taken out the honey. Honey is a really important thing to have on hand.
Yes, one of my favorite local products.
Yes, and you know what? All local honey is fantastic and should be. Yeah.
So you must know the maker of True Bee Honey, Emily Barifa,
yes,
from Ottawa, right? So it's important. It has the enzymes. So Julie, a lot of parents around cold or flu season, they come to us asking for supplements.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So particularly for kids, we want to give them something natural.
Absolutely.
Right? And I'm a big fan of this because studies prove that the honey can reduce the frequency and severity of cough at nighttime for children over the age of 2 with a respiratory illness.
Really? So what's the best way to give that?
So half a teaspoon or teaspoon. So we don't want to give it under 12 months, right? Because of the botulism toxins. But over 2, it's very, very safe. And comparison to Benylin or Buckley's that have dextromethorphan, studies show this works.
Oh, that's fantastic. So just in some warm water, add an ice cube if it's too warm. It's very soothing. Perfect. Adding lemon?
Perfect.
Okay,
definitely.
even better.
Vitamin C.
Yeah,
yes.
vitamin C. Okay, there's more. Okay, hydration. How important is hydration when you have a flu?
Huge.
Thank you.
Right, huge.
Yeah. John at home, just not pointing fingers, but yes. Yeah.
Huge. So for kids, you know, that's unflavored, right? Because especially when you're sick, you don't feel like eating. So especially when it's pretty moderate to severe, so hydration would be a key, right? And then for adults, same thing. You know, there's so
I've
many.
never seen these ones.
Oh, this is an amazing product.
Okay.
It has prebiotics, soluble fibers, 0 gram sugar in it as well.
These are at your pharmacies?
Yes, all pharmacies typically sell.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
And very easy to do. Okay. Yeah. And then this one.
The Hydrolyte, right?
Okay,
so same,
yeah.
Yes, exactly. So you just dissolve in water and drink it in sips, right? Little bit, just to get you through the initial first couple of days.
And do you also suggest that this is a great preventative, like not so much a Pedialyte, because that really is when, but definitely preventative. Yes. Okay, we've got a minute left. I want you to tell me what's most important for families to think about when it is flu season.
Get vaccinated.
Okay, thank you.
Get the jab.
Okay, so if they haven't had it yet, it's not too late.
It's not too late. It'll protect you towards the later part of the season.
Okay, because that's usually when another flu evolves.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
How many people would you say have come into your pharmacy so far with the flu? One last question.
Oh my God. Many.
Okay, many folks. That, you know what? I think that's a number we can't even count. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you,
I hope everyone at home had a moment to just get that ease of how we could take care of the flu. Up next, you're not going to want to miss it. The 67s are unstoppable, and you're not going to want to have the flu to go see them. Thank you. Thanks so much.
The moment I started to feel more connected to the world was when I reached out to the foundation for funding for a camera. It gave me a way to process what I was feeling, and I began to heal. When I was coming into care, I was very reserved. I was very shy, and it gave me hope to see that there is an organization who knows that supporting a young person's passion is important for mental health. I wouldn't have had that chance without funding from Children's Aid Foundation of Canada.
Are you a content creator looking to expand your audience and make your voice heard in your community? Rogers TV wants to provide you with a platform to share your hobbies, interests, and stories for free. Visit us to find out more.
Welcome to Ottawa in the Know. I'm Julie Findlay. I'm happy to be here to show you everything from bike trails to kitchen tales and all the things in between that make Ottawa so great.
After a night out with your friends, not having a plan for a safe ride home can leave you in a bad spot. You could end up riding in a police car, an ambulance, or a hearse. These unplanned modes of transportation can be a costly choice and do not take you home. Your plan could include a designated driver, a taxi, or public transit. Drink responsibly, choose your ride, and have a plan for a safe ride home.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more.
If you're looking for straightforward recipes that are surefire crowd pleasers and really delicious, I hope you'll tune in to Season 5 of my show, Paula Roy's Favorite Foods on Rogers TV. There's everything from mouth-watering salads to delicious make-ahead meals, lots of baking, even some pickles, and I'm sure there's something for everyone in this season's lineup. I'll offer some ideas to help make your time in the kitchen more effective and fun, and perhaps you'll even watch it with your whole family.
Because I need another person in chair. Welcome back, Ottawa. The Ottawa 67s, like I said, are unstoppable. They're leading the East and firing on all cylinders. They have fans on the edge of their seats, and joining us now is a true voice of our city's sports history, Dan Mooney, because for 42 years, he's been bringing local games to life, including 20 years covering the 67s and 10 seasons as their in-arena announcer. Welcome, Dan Mooney, to talk all things 67s. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you, Julie.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And just as a sports person, he's even covered me and the girls at Great Grandmasters winning our tournaments with Ultimate Frisbee, but that'll be another show. 67s, tell us the great news.
Well, for a team that really did not have a lot going into the season, 9 rookies in the lineup. Their goaltending was kind of questionable. At the beginning of the season, defense needed some shoring up. They didn't make the playoffs last year, and nobody expected them to exceed that record.
Yeah.
So for them, at the Christmas break, to be #1 in the Ontario Hockey League, now ranked #4 in the country, is an absolutely wonderful thing, not only for the 67s Hockey Club, but for the city of Ottawa, and junior hockey fans are just really eating this up.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's pretty much sold out. Or can we tell viewers at home there's some tickets?
Well, there's
hopefully?
tons of tickets left. There's
good.
tons of tickets
I
left.
misunderstood that. I went on and it didn't look like a lot.
And one of the nice things about the 67s is the fact that the way the schedule is structured, they're consistent Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon games at home. There are the odd game during the middle of the week, but very, very rare. So people can plan around these games and these times to get to see the best team in the Ontario Hockey League.
And in your opinion, what do you think brought this team this far so far?
They've had some really good speed up front. They're not a big hockey club, so they have to really utilize their speed up front. Their defense has shored up. Frank Morelli has had a really great year, as has Cohen Ashkok again, and with Caleb Deitch and Connor Buick sort of rounding out the blue line. They've been solid that way, but the most surprising thing, I think, has been their goaltending. The tandem of Jaden Nelson and Ryder Fedorov have been the best in the Ontario Hockey League, with Ryder Fedorov really surprising everybody, coming in as a 16-year-old and becoming the #2 goaltender in the Ontario Hockey League to this point.
That's amazing, eh?
Yeah.
You must be so excited in the arena. I mean, you're excited on most days chatting when you get behind the mic, but I just want to get back to your career. Like that first time you picked up the mic for the 67s, we're just going to, like, what was that feeling?
For the 67s was about 5 or 6 years after I began. My first my first foray into broadcasting was right out of this building in 1984, August 10th.
Wow.
A Sooners football game. And I got that gig because I went to a party. You can't do that anymore.
No. Well, maybe we could bring that back. You're going to have to go to a party and get your next person that maybe
Wouldn't
you
that
can...
be something?
It would be something for sure. It'd be creative. You're loving every minute of it?
This season has been just a real treat, not only because I've been able to watch this hockey club since the early 70s, But to see them succeed the way they are this season, with everything else that's going on around junior hockey, with the NCAA changing their rules for the name, image, and likeness, a lot of players are leaving the Ontario Hockey League to go down and get full scholarships and earn money in the States since this rule change by the NCAA in the States. You couldn't even be on an Ontario Hockey League score sheet before that to be ruled ineligible for an NCAA scholarship before the rule change.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think that's going to do to hockey?
It's going to change things. I don't think we've seen everything that it's going to bring, but the interesting thing about this entire foray into new ideas in the States is that the 67s just picked up Teddy Spitznagel from the University of Michigan. So the acquisitions that Jan Eggert is making as the new general manager of the 67s are great. He brought in Sam McHugh from the Brantford Bulldogs. He brought in Nick Sema from the Saginaw Spirit to sort of shore up this playoff run that the 67s are obviously going to mount moving forward.
Yeah, so how many games are we looking at now? We're getting into the playoffs.
We got about 30 regular season games left. And the 67s have to maintain their health. They've lost one major injury this year to Nolan Jackson. He broke his femur, so he's been out, but he's hoping to be back for the postseason. So that's a very, very good sign that the 67s are doing everything that they possibly can in order to solidify a really good playoff run.
Yeah, and you get to follow it all. Literally, you're in there following it all. Tell me, what do you need to do that? What's the skill? Because you're just, the energy is there. We can listen on the radio and we're right in the building.
Well, it's part of the fun that I've always generated from calling games. I don't get to play anymore because time does that.
Yeah.
So it allows me to stay involved, which is really, really cool from my perspective. I get to see all these future NHLers get together and really hone their skills to get to the point where they get drafted and move on to a professional career. That's the really inspiring thing for me.
I feel like you have a part in that because you just bring them to light in your commentating, in your introductions, and talking about them. So I'm glad that you're there for them.
Thank you so much, Julie. That's really nice of you
Absolutely.
to say.
Thank you so much for joining me.
The music, the Academy Awards, we gotta go.
Well, we're not going to go just yet. I want to just remind everybody at home, take advantage. Like we said, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, plan your weekends around it. You don't want to miss this streak. We'll be right back with our next guest. Thanks.
Welcome to Community News and Events on Rogers TV Channel 22. I'm Justin Laporte. As winter sets in, city crews are gearing up for winter operations. Winter conditions create challenges for everyone on the roads, but crews work around the clock to keep the streets and sidewalks safe. Crews use large equipment to assist with snow removal, and depending on conditions, operators may not always see everything around them. For instance, did you know a snowplow needs 15 feet of space to operate? It is recommended not to pass snowplows on the inside lane and to stay at least 15 meters or about 3 car lengths behind a plow with flashing blue lights. With your cooperation, they can work safely and keep our community moving. To have your community news or events listed on our website, please go to rogerstv.com, click on events, and post your event. That's it.
I'm Meg, and this is Fit Findlay. Join me for Season 3 of Fit Over 50 with Meg, exclusively on Rogers TV. You're going to love the workouts that I lead you through. We're going to be using resistance bands, weights, your own body weight, and a chair. The These workouts are for people over the age of 50, but no matter what age you are, you're going to love them. Can't wait to see you then.
Join me, holistic chef Daniela Croco, for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef right here on Rogers TV.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Welcome back to Ottawa in the Know. I'm Julie Findlay, your host. We're into a great Happy New Year. Our next guest is helping women take control of their health, strength, and lifestyle. Sarah Boyd is a certified personal trainer, nutrition, and lifestyle coach, and author of Habit Revolution. Through her work at Sarah Boyd Fitness and Nutrition, she empowers women to build sustainable habits and feel their best at every stage of life, as we know we have many. Welcome, Sarah Boyd. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much for having me.
Congratulations on the book. This is bestseller. It's been happening.
Yes.
Well, let's start. This book, what inspired you to get this book out?
I saw a need for breaking down the science and the research that's coming out with women's health right now into everyday habits and tools that women can use in order to implement the research into their daily lives.
Okay, and I know that is a big description, so we're going to break that down right away. So you've always been in fitness and nutrition.
I have been.
And there's been a moment that you just thought women needed more attention. When was that?
Well, I saw the research coming out in the last couple of years about menopause and perimenopause. There's been a lot of stuff right now with hormone therapy and that sort of thing, and none of my clients knew how to apply it. They're like, yeah, I saw this, so how do I do it? And when you study it and when you research it, it's fun for me to do that, but my clients don't have the time or they don't enjoy doing that. So that's where, I help my clients get from where they're at right now to where they need to be the healthiest in their phase of life.
Yeah, and did you see a pattern or a few patterns that kept reoccurring that you're like, okay, we've got to make a change for this for women?
100%. We're coming out of that burnout hustle culture right now, which is great. Everyone's seeing that, it's not a badge of honor to be burnt out, but that's what we're seeing is that women keep pushing harder to lose the weight, to, eat a certain way, and it's just not something that's sustainable because our hormones affect everything that we do, and sometimes you do need to release, go back and recover a little bit more.
That's an interesting thing, and you probably have a hard time getting women to do that?
Yes and no. When I work with them in person, they're coming to me, and my first questions I always ask them is, how are you feeling today?
Yeah.
And so then I modify what we're going to do with them based on their answers. And so they start to see, sometimes it's, I'm only here because I wanted to come hang out with you, or I wanted to see you, and they don't feel good. And so it's, well, we're going to do the workout, but we're going to modify it a little bit. So you're still going to say, do your squats today, but we're going to go a little bit lighter. We're going to do some more reps, and we're going to make it feel good so that they're leaving the session actually feeling better and feeling a little bit more energized.
And that is sort of that idea of taking rest for yourself and for your body that we don't generally do.
Exactly.
So it's creating habits. So I'm always looking for the quick fix, I have to say, but I know that in turn it turns into a habit because I keep going back to the same quick fix.
Yeah.
So what are some things you can say to people as their intentions for the new year? What should they sort of create for their habits?
Something that is flexible. And resolutions are an all or nothing thing. And there's a lot of habit coaches out there and a big trend to not set resolutions. But when we look at setting goals, I love a restart, I love a recalibration, and we always have things we want to do better. So when we have flexible goals, we're better to stay consistent. So when I say I'm going to work out 4 days a week, that workout doesn't have to be a hard hit workout every day to stay consistent towards your goal. So I like to say, reset and set a goal, but be flexible with it. If you can't do that because something came up, we'll do this, and it still is helping you get there.
Absolutely, I love that idea. The other thing that people really work on is nutrition, to feed their body while they're working, while they're moving through the day, and when they're working out. So what are some sort of tips that we can find in this book that will guide us?
The biggest one is don't skip breakfast, especially as women. Yeah, and
Remember that moment in time when they're like, don't eat for like 12 hours, like the fasting. But maybe I'm confusing the messaging.
Well, the intermittent
fasting,
the intermittent fasting is great, but it's also geared, that research was done on men. And when they wanted to study it for women, they went out and found men that looked like women, so older, overweight men, because we have a higher body fat, and it doesn't actually work with the female genetics.
Wow.
So eating breakfast, when we wake up in the morning, we're already at a higher, our cortisol is higher. That's what helps us wake up in the morning, and not eating continues to raise that cortisol level. So getting a high protein, high fiber breakfast first thing in the morning is something that will help you sustain your energy longer throughout the day, and then help to avoid those evening munchies that often can derail some of our goals.
It's interesting because you're hearing the conversations, and it's not because it's a new year, it's because we've just spent a time with family, food, and friends. And the food was right in the middle because it goes both ways. When you said high protein, high fiber to start your morning. Okay, what are some foods that you could just throw out, just give people some hope that they're doing the right thing?
My favorite is a smoothie because it takes 2 minutes to whip up, and it's something that's really portable. And so even if you've got a busy morning on the go, you can take it with you. Yeah, and the biggest thing is if you don't normally eat breakfast, you're not going to feel like eating breakfast. So a smoothie is something that you can sip for 2 or 3 hours. And eventually, if you keep doing that habit, you're going to start finishing that within the first 15, 30 minutes because you'll start waking up hungry.
Okay, that's good. Writing the book, how much fun did you have?
A lot of fun at the end. The beginning was very difficult.
Okay, and then what's your process throughout the book? How is it helping everyone?
The process for writing the book?
Well, the process of like getting through the book, because it is a woman's guide.
It is, yes.
How does it guide us when we have this?
So it starts with the beginning and breaking it down and what our hormonal patterns that we have throughout the month are, and then it'll take them through the different phases of life, through puberty, through your menstruating phase, through perimenopause, and through menopause as well.
Wow.
And you can't skip from one phase to the other, but in what I've been hearing from feedback afterwards is that if you read, even if you're a postmenopausal woman or perimenopausal, if you read the beginning of it, you'll have a better understanding of what your body has gone through and what you need to do to support yourself with where you're at right now.
That is so educational in itself, which just coming from a teacher, that's what I love. What is your... Well, actually, people can come to you. Please let everyone at home. I know we have got everything at the bottom, but how can people reach out to you?
Yeah, so on my website at sarahboyd.ca. I also do some personal training at Positive Movement Fitness in Canada.
Okay.
But the best way to reach out is through my website or at sarahboyd.ca.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. And what's your favorite tip that people have noticed in this book right away when they get it?
About listening to your body. Often we wait until our body's screaming at us to do something about it, but when you start and you get trained at listening to the little whispers, everything gets easier.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Everyone at home, The Habit Revolution, the Women's Guide to Evolving Health Habits and Hormones. It's packed full, looks small, but it brings lots of joy. Thank you so much for joining us. And this is a great way to start those New Year's intentions. Be right back with our next guest that's going to tell us what's in store for us for 2026. Thank you. Thanks so much. That was great.
Hello, your cell phone. How can I help?
I need somebody, not just anybody. Won't you please, 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 please help me?
Welcome to Ottawa in the Know. I'm Julie Findlay. I'm happy to be here to show you everything from bike trails to kitchen tales and all the things in between that make Ottawa so great.
I love being a champ.
I am a member of the Warham's Child Amputee program.
Through CHAMP, I get the artificial limbs I need to participate in everyday activities. I'm always growing, so I always need new devices.
Support and helpful information on living with an amputation is available to me anytime.
I get to meet other kids that are just like me. It's your donations that make the War Amps CHAMP program possible. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Dave, and I absolutely love the camp. Why do we do this? Why do we go out here? With the bugs, the bears, skunks chasing you, poison ivy, ticks, you name it. Why do we do it? Because we love it. I love it. I wanted to take my passion for filming and the outdoors and combine them, and that's why I'm here. Maybe it's a mistake. I don't know.
Welcome back to Ottawa in the Know. Our next guest is Monica, the voice that brings joy on Country 101.1, the station's famous content manager and on-air afternoon host. You do! She brings the best in country music and local stories from the National Capital Region. Monica's here to share a sneak peek of what's ahead and maybe talk about what we just had in 2025. How are you?
I'm good. I think I'm blushing right now. I think I need to come into my next meeting with my boss and introduce me like that.
I will. And you can just walk in behind.
Right, yeah, maybe a little fanfare.
No. If people have not listened to you, you do bring so much joy.
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, it's because I love what I do, and I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about music, because in 2025 we're going to focus on country music.
Yeah.
There were some really great shows that we were able to be at in 2025.
Why do you think that is? The venues, the
we have some great venues. Yeah, we have some great venues. There have just been some really great opportunities. A lot of new music coming out, or that had come out, and then artists that we hadn't had tour around for a little while. Right? It was great to have Brad Paisley come back. He was there in December, and what a show he put on.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was truly amazing. And then you had on his tour, he had Megan Patrick, who she's been known on the Canadian country scene, but she's now also really growing in the States as well. And so that's been really exciting. So to have her open up, and Jackson Dean's had a couple of #1 hits.
Yeah.
He's really big in the States, but he's also really growing now in Canada as well. And then you have Brad Paisley, who's he just knows how to put on a show.
Well, getting them together. That's what he knew right away.
Exactly.
They're going to go off on their own, so we're going to have them for a moment, and we'll do this together, which is fantastic.
Exactly. And he's been known, I've always been a fan of Brad Paisley, but I'm thinking really early. It's like Taylor Swift, for example, when she was just first coming up, she was an opener for Brad Paisley at one point. So they've always pulled in, and they do all the artists do such a great job with their openers, but it's just, there's something about Brad and his team, and it was just a fabulous show. And it was a great way to kind of wrap up 2025. And 2026, we have a lot of shows coming up. We're just slowly getting them in, but it's really starting to ramp up. But for example, we have Jade Eagleson coming to the Bronson Center on February 10th.
That is such a great venue.
Yes,
It's
I
lovely.
love going to that venue. It just reminds me of being in my 20s. Not that was that long ago.
2 minutes ago.
Right. But to be able to stand and go enjoy a show, right? I don't necessarily. There's certain artists, certain venues. It's okay to sit down. I like to stand up and I like to dance and really get into it. So Jade Eagleson is going to be at the Bronson Center, and then on February 12th, Josh Ross. He's going to be at the Hard Rock.
Ooh.
Yeah, Josh had a pretty big 2025. So he has this tour going on, and the Hard Rock has a number of great artists coming up in the next little while.
Yeah.
So that's with just February alone, but in March we have Dylan Scott coming up on March 21st, and then I actually skipped over Charlie Crockett, who is on March 3rd.
Okay.
But there's some like I said, there's some great acts coming in, and the Hard Rock is pulling in some of these great acts as well. So
there is never a dull moment there. They've got live music all the time, which is fantastic. So you got to check out that venue.
Yeah. I did have the opportunity to see Nate Smith in November, and it was a great show at the Hard Rock.
Really?
Yeah,
eh?
I really enjoyed
What stage
it.
are they at? Was he at?
He was in the big in the big
in
room.
the auditorium.
And then you still have your seats, so if you wish to sit down and watch the show, you can. But then the floor is open, and you're able to stand and watch the show and enjoy the show from there as well. So, and I love the fact that there's free parking.
I know.
Because we know sometimes, depending on the venue, parking you either have to pay or it's really hard to
it's
come
a
across.
nice way, and they're trying to make it an ease way to get from downtown to there with all the trains.
Exactly.
Chug along.
Right.
Yeah.
Canadian Tire Center celebrating its 30th. I'm looking forward to. I'm not like this is going to sound like I'm spreading rumors and gossip, but it's like they're going into their 30th year. Yeah. I feel like we're going to hear of some really big shows coming to.
I kind of like that because I was going to ask you that, but I didn't know if you had an answer to
I don't
that.
have an answer just yet. It's just, but like, look at what came in, like the artists that came in 2025. There were some really great shows that came through, and it's once again a great venue to see a show. I feel like that it's the 30th. There's got to be something there, right? I'm just waiting, and the moment we have that news, I will definitely. I will run down the hallway
on the radio or find me. Just burst in on set and let us know. That would be fantastic. Oh my gosh! So, what are you looking forward to for this year?
Oh, gee, there's once again so many. Always Blues Fest, Ottawa Blues Fest is always a great time. Yeah. Guitars and Gasoline is coming back for its second season.
Good.
Yeah, so
When
looking
is
forward
that?
to that
Why
one. It's coming up in June.
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Great. Good.
So, and those are two like action-packed days of great entertainment. You got your rock and you got your country. So, looking forward to that one. But Ottawa Blues Fest is another favorite
Do you have
of mine.
an idea who's
No. Waiting.
Who were you excited about last year that came?
For Ottawa Blues Fest, I was really surprised when they announced Lainey Wilson because Lainey Wilson was definitely on my bucket list. And I know Shania Twain, she's been here before, but the fact that like I've never had a chance to see her, and so to be able to see her, and it was just so great to see the different ages. Like it wasn't just a particular demographic. It was men, women, it was young people, it was older people, it was people like there was kids there with their parents.
Yeah, because
and
you're
it was
listening
like a whole
in the radio
family.
in the car, and they know it's awesome. My gosh.
But it was just so great to be a part of that. So there was just so many memorable moments for 2025.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward. I feel like that's raised the bar for 2026. Not to put any pressure on the promoters or anything.
No, and I mean the music festival scene is just getting really ramped up. They ended up their season with inviting you and everyone to know what they're going to be doing in the new year, which is fantastic. We're also coming up to a 200 anniversary and birthday of the Byward Market.
That's right.
There's got to be some stuff that's going to be gearing up in there.
I wouldn't be surprised, and they're probably just waiting, giving it some time to make those announcements. But it's just like give us a little a little look-see.
Okay, let's talk about you, though, for like the last 2 minutes, because I really am happy when I turn on the radio. When you get to the station and you're just getting your playlist together, how do you do it?
How do I do it? I mean, like in regards to the show, like my life is prep. So it's funny because little things that happen throughout the day, it's like, oh, put it in my little vault, and that becomes a part of the show because that's also relatable. It's other thing that's something that other people are going through as well, or they can relate to at some point, or they have a funny story to share. And so I also like leaning on our listeners as well to share their stories because I want them to be as much of a part of the show, it's not just me all the time, right? Yeah. And so to open up those phone lines, open up the text lines for people to, just to share what they're thinking, or maybe they relate to something that they hear on the radio. But it's usually we hit the ground running once we get in through the doors here.
I know, it's so good. And it's just that exciting time where it feels like you're having a house party.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Which is fantastic.
And we're playing a little bit of everything.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining me.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Yes, everyone, thanks for joining me on our first show back in the new year. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. We covered everything, I think. So we'll see you next week. Thank you and take care. That was great.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running.